What's up, everybody? Welcome back to MoKMagicTG. It's your boy Josh, and we're about to hit part two of the small eBay collection I purchased online. And I put up part one a day or two ago, which was me unboxing it because I was scared due to the condition in which the box arrived to me in. It was pretty alarming, but I opened it up. And as we saw through that unboxing, the contents were relatively unfazed. Um, the boxes, several of the boxes, particularly the intro packs and uh, uh, deck boxes and whatnot, were a little worse for wear. And these white boxes have definitely seen better days, but they held up and the contents were okay. There were a couple cards. Fortunately, they were like land cards and the old Innistrad like token type cards that took a little damage, but I wasn't real worried about that. So what everybody wants to know is, did we make some money? Did this thing turn out? Did my suspicions that this was hopefully an intact personal collection that hadn't been pre-sorted and have the goodies pulled out of it? My research of looking at the eBayers history to see if they're a big, are they big into Magic? Do they buy and sell a lot? Because again, if somebody's real big into Magic and they're selling a collection, odds are it's been combed through. Unless the person can tell you they just haven't had time to do it, and then you have to trust the fact that they're telling the truth. Uh, Unfortunately, there are bad people out there that'll just bold-faced lie to you. But at any rate, let's see if this thing turned out to be worth my money. I was $207 in, if I'm not mistaken, between shipping and handling. 209, I'm sorry, $209 in, if I round it up, on shipping and handling here. So I've got to beat $209 to break even, and anything over that is profit. So I can go ahead and tell you now, it's about to get fun. It's about to get interesting. I was going to film me. I was going to film me opening all these boxes and cards. Oh, are we going to have camera? There we go. I was going to film me opening all of these boxes and going through these cards and doing the Delver lens and everything one at a time. But and I've seen other YouTubers who do that, and then they speed up the video in between patches of bulk cards until they hit some good spicy stuff. But I just, at the end of the day, I ended up spending 6 hours going through this collection card by card. And I just went ahead and pulled everything out, and I got it inventoried, and I'm just going to show you. So I'll pull up a spreadsheet and show you some things. So as far as rares and mythics are concerned, we did pretty good. There's a whole box here. There was a whole box. If I go back real quick, there was a whole box that said lands, and about 80%, really 90, probably about 90% of that box was regular lands, plain, swamp, forest, plains, etc. But there was a stack about this thick, maybe an inch or two thick, of cards. In fact, here I can actually show you. It had foils and whatnot, so it was a stack about this thick of cards that were lands, and included in that was definitely some good stuff. So first and foremost, we've got an arid mesa. Here, I'll show the cards in a minute when we go back. But if we look here, we got arid mesa. As far as lands are concerned, Dark Slick Shores. What else do we got? There's some really good. We hit some really good. Cliff Top Retreat, Drowned Catacomb, Celestial Colonnade, Isolated Chapel, Sulphur Falls, Creeping Tar Pit. The list goes on of cards, and these are all definitely from the mid 2000s to the 2010s. The early 2010s, like 10 and 11, maybe a hair into 2012. A lot of these cards in this entire collection, I can tell that this was somebody who collected from, in my opinion, I'm going to guess they honestly got into Magic around 2010. And based on the inventory that was available for them to buy in their stores or the local game stores with friends and whatnot, they acquired some cards from a few sets before, because it looks like they got a little bit into maybe some 2005 and 7 type sets. But the bulk of this, I'd say 80% of this collection, is definitely around 2010, 11, and 12. It's a ton of 2010, 11, and 12 core set. It's a ton of the dual decks and the premium deck series from that time. But there's some Mirrodin, some Scars of Mirrodin. There's Kamigawa, Alara. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, but it's really, the bulk of it is like 2009, 10, 11, 12. You can almost literally see at Dark Ascension, it just stops. There's literally not a single, I don't think there's a single card from a set past Dark Ascension. So it's like they didn't hit 2013 at all. It just stopped early 2012. But at any rate, got some really spicy stuff. As you can see, we got Arid Mesa, 2 Snapcaster Mages from Innistrad. We got a doubling cube. We got 2 parallel lives. So it's important to point out that pretty much, if I did my math right, let's see, 40, 80, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200. I'll do my math right there. 40, 80, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200. So here, yeah, after Balefire Dragon, pretty much every card after Balefire Dragon is all profit. So I got all my money back just on those hits, and then everything else is all money in my pocket. Didgeridoo, Aestheticism, Phyrexian Arena, again, all the lands that we hit that were great. A lot of the value in some of these came from these premium deck series, which was really good. But we also hit some really good common uncommons. Lightning Greaves, Bogart Harbinger, and that's always a hard one to say. Exsanguinate, or is that Exsanguinate? Skullclap, Clamp, Liliana's Caress, Merchant Scroll. I'm trying to think. Of course, Swiftfoot Boots, Grafted Exoskeleton, some Lightning Bolts. Got a whole playset of Lightning Bolts out of that premium deck series. Just some good stuff. Down here, these are a little under $1. By the way, I only put cards on the list. You'll notice, as I talked about before in my other videos, for me, anything under $1 is bulk. So I only put things at $1, but there's a couple cards that are close to $1 that I did put. One, because I like them, Hellspark Elemental, Spark Elemental. I use them in other decks, in their foil. On here, there's a couple. One, I just made I put Scarwood Goblins because it's from the Dark. I think that was probably the oldest card in this, and it was one. I think it was the only card from the Dark on here, so I just put it on here. Thought Scour I put on here because I like Thought Scour. I use it. Diabolic Tutor, again, just one of those cards. So a couple of these here are cards that I put on here because I know they're cards that are kind of high demand. You can usually sell Oblivion Rings and Browbeat, but still, I went back through and did a second pass on commons, uncommons, and I happened to find, as you can see here, about 15 more cards that were $1 up to $2. But there was a lot of multiples of these, 2, 3, 2, 2, 5. So I made a second pass on them, and I found another 50 some odd dollars that I was about to chunk in the bulk. And then just for giggles, all the foil lands, period, just all the foil lands. A lot of them were the mountains out of the premium deck series, Fire and Lightning. But pretty much, I just scanned all the lands because they were foils. But given how old they were, and a lot of them were for shards and whatnot, it still wound up being about $13 of foil lands. So all in all, if you take all of these combined, obviously the rare mythics is the bulk of it. It was about $592 on this list here of rares and mythics. $116 on this list, $57.30, and $13.29. So again, short of these being under $1, and a couple of these that I picked being under $1, only using cards that are worth $1 or more, I came up with $779 and some change. And so when I back out $209 of cost, I've got $570 of profit here of just cards that are over $1. I've got plenty of cards left over that I could go through that I know. I have a whole stack or two of cards that I know are 50, 75, 80 something cents that I didn't pull because they just weren't cards that I know I either like to play with or that I know I can trade to somebody that's they're looking for them. So I'll show you those in a second. Well, here I'll kind of show you. So that's all creature cards separated by white, black, red, blue, green, etc. multicolor. These boxes are still relatively full. There's some deck boxes as well as a bunch of cards. That one's full. This one has the lands, which we already looked at. And then these are all, this whole stack, which is about 2, maybe 3 inches thick. This is all foils, commons, uncommons. Oh, I take that back. That's rares? Oh, card. Oh, I just got out of stack somehow. Anyways, these are all foil. These are all foil common uncommons. Okay. All right, so I'm still working on issues with my camera. I managed to fix it where it actually zooms now, but now it's kind of autofocusing too much. Anyways, all foil commons, uncommons, couple inches thick. You already saw the lands we went through. This is that stack of commons, uncommons, Whisper Silk Cloak, Invisible Stalker, Delver of Secrets, Lightning Bolts. So that's a stack of those. These are just interesting lands that I liked from Homelands. They're not really worth, they're under $1, but I like them, so I'm going to keep them. I've got a foil Jaya Ballard. Come on. I've got a foil Jaya Ballard Task Mage here. I like that. So I'm a Planeswalker collector. I love Planeswalkers. I've got just about every Planeswalker, and then I make it my goal to get Planeswalkers from their first appearances too. So this is Jaya, not as a Planeswalker but a legendary creature, so I'm going to add her to my Planeswalker collection. This is the stack of bulk rares that I have. So these are all rares. Come on. So these are all rares. A nice 3.5 inch or so stack. These are all rares that I consider bulk. I mean, you've got some walls. I don't know, there's some lands, I think, Bottomless Vault, Fallen Empires. So there is some older stuff in here. Fallen Empires, Dissension, Dark Ascension, Leyline of Volatility, all kinds of stuff. But several of these are 50 cents to approaching $1. But again, if it's not $1, I don't count it. But again, some of the fun stuff. Uh-oh, come on, work with me. So we've got a Doubling Cube. Let's see what else is good here. Ball Lightning. I'm always a sucker for a good red foil. Let's see what else we got here. Phyrexian Arena, Rooftop Storm, 2 Asceticisms. Let's see, Parallel Lives, got a couple Parallel Lives. Grafdigger's Cage, again, these are all a couple Visions from Beyond from Core 12. Protean Hydra. I mean, there's just some, Wall of Kelp from Homelands, 2 of those, the Didgeridoo. Got a Basalt Monolith. I mean, that's a revised. There's just some really good stuff in here. So random. Again, hitting on the land cycles, Arid Mesa, Dark Slick Shores, Celestial Colonnade, some Thickets, Hinterlands, Clifftop Retreat, all kinds of Drowned Catacombs, Tar Pit, Sulfur, Isolated. There's those Snappies. I pulled 2 Snapcaster Mages out of here. A lot of these cards, by the way, are definitely new mint, actually in really great shape. I mean, it doesn't look like he ever even used these Snappies. And I say he, it could have been a she, but the name says Tim on a lot of these boxes. But doesn't even look like these Snappies ever got used. A lot of these cards, like I said, are new mint. Of course, some of the older stuff, I mean, maybe it's light play to moderate play, but I mean, everything's in really great shape. Ranger of Eos, some Laboratory Maniacs, I mean, all kind, Balefire Dragons, Hailkites, Huntmaster of the Fells. I mean, just so many great cards. I'm trying to see, there's, you know, Coalition Relic, Phyrexian Processor, you know, Olivia, one of my favorites. So yeah, just Wormcoil Engine, just so much good stuff. And then on the commons, uncommons, again, you know, Exanguinate, I have a hard time with that, you know, Bogart Harbinger, Spark Elemental, Hedron Crab, I mean, Lightning Greaves, Grafted Exoskeletons, what else? Lightning Bolts, got a play set there of Lightning Bolts, Chain Lightning, you know, just so much stuff. So, you know, Swift Boots, again, some older stuff, Homelands, got some Merchant Scrolls. So just, you know, I can't say enough. You know, trust me, not every collection or set that I buy is like this. But if you do your homework, if you, you know, follow some of the tips and tricks, you can help slant the odds in your favor, which is all that I talk about. I've got another video I'm going to share soon that talks about ways to get some good price match guarantees and stuff. So anyways, getting this one ended up real quick. Remember, at 100 subs, we've got, I'm giving this away for anybody that can guess what MOK stands for in my name, MoKMagicTG. You know, it is Magic the Gathering related, so there's, you know, there's a hint for you. There's always clues coming. I just haven't shared any more with you. So yeah, if you get a chance, smash that subscribe button, the like button, the comment button, share some feedback with me. But yeah, this was a good one. $570 profit, not to mention being able to potentially sell some of those other cards. So that's it. That's all I got for you. As always, thanks for tuning in. Look forward to talking to you next time, and deuces.